Welcome. My name is Ann Satley, Associate Training Director for Vocational Rehabilitation in Indiana, VR. This recording is being provided to give information regarding the VR process overview. The visual part of this presentation was made by Steve Upchurch in June 2019. The case flow for VR generally goes in this sequence: referral, intake/application, eligibility determination, plan development (IPE), service implementation, and goal achievement or closure. For the first stage, referral, it should be noted that VR will accept a referral from any source. The most common referral sources are other government agencies, social workers, case managers, healthcare providers, teachers, schools, self, parents, and friends. At the time of referral, a support staff member, like a secretary or case coordinator, will assign the referral to an intake counselor, schedule an intake appointment, mail an appointment letter, and mail a questionnaire. Each office also has a process for reminding the referral of the intake appointment. For the second stage, intake/application, the potential applicant meets with an intake counselor, and the intake counselor reviews all of the material in the Road to Workbook, which includes the purpose of VR, the VR process, informed choice, applicant rights, and appeal information. The intake counselor fills out certain data pages in the Aware Case Management System related to the participant's educational history, work history, and reported disabilities. Other information reviewed includes timeframes, eligibility criteria, and next steps. At this time, the intake counselor may be able to determine that additional diagnostic evaluations are required in order to determine eligibility. If that's the case, informed choice will be provided for the participant to get this accomplished. The final thing that happens during this meeting is that the application signature page is signed, as well as any consents for disclosure of confidential information. The third stage, eligibility and disability priority determination, is next. As records arrive and are reviewed by the intake counselor, the participant's functional limitations are considered along with the anticipated service needs and duration in order to determine the appropriate disability priority category. Under order of selection, this disability priority category determines which eligible participants will receive immediate services. There are 3 levels of disability priority. Priority Category 1 is the only category currently being served immediately by local VR offices. This refers to individuals with a most significant disability, MSD. Priority Category 2 refers to individuals with significant disabilities, SD. And the final category is 3, individuals with a non-significant disability, NSD, which is also referred to simply as a person with a disability. Individuals in Priority Categories 2 and 3 are placed on delayed service list until such a time as VR has sufficient resources in staffing and funding to serve individuals in these categories. Only individuals in Priority Category 1, MSD, are assigned by area supervisors to VR caseload counselors for plan development immediately upon eligibility. In the VR case management system, eligibility determination is processed after disability priority determination, which we already discussed. However, this is a reflection of how the system works for counselors. In reality, disability priority determination would not be completed for someone that the intake counselor would not plan to make eligible. As for the eligibility criteria, this is a determination made by answering a series of 4 sequential questions. The answers to all 4 questions must be yes in order to be eligible. The 4 questions are here on your screen. 1. Does the individual have a physical or mental impairment? 2. Does the applicant's physical or mental impairment constitute a substantial impediment to employment? 3. Does the applicant require services in order to work? And 4. Will the applicant benefit from VR services in terms of an employment outcome? For the final question, the presumption is yes. If an applicant receives SSI or SSDI for his or her own disability, the applicant is presumed to be eligible for VR services. The 4th stage of the VR process is plan, or IPE, development. IPE stands for Individualized Plan for Employment, A counselor typically makes an initial plan that is set for no more than 6 months. This plan may have a tentative goal. The purpose of this plan is to start the process for the case and set the framework for future plans, but it is highly subject to change. Subsequent plans should have a more solidified employment goal identified because the services that were provided in the initial plan, including the vocational counseling and guidance, were provided to get to this point. These more established plans will also include services and vendors that are required in order to achieve the stated goal. VR plans are subject to change, are signed by all parties, and are reviewed annually. Another kind of VR plan may be developed, which is called a trial work plan. This type of plan is rare and is only considered after an initial plan is implemented. This is appropriate for when the counselor questions the participant's ability to benefit from services in terms of an employment outcome, due to concerns that have arisen during the initial service implementation. The trial work plans have unique sets of paperwork, documentation, and a special closure reason if unsuccessful. After plan development, services are implemented, which is the 5th stage of the VR process. Required services may be provided by VR staff or outside providers. For outside providers, there is a referral process before they deliver services, and then there is ongoing evaluation of those services. One of the major services provided by VR is job-related services or employment services. This involves a specific set of processes with specialized community rehabilitation providers, CRPs. At the point that participants are using a CRP to obtain employment, a form called a Job Development and Placement Plan is completed. Ideally, there is a meeting involving the CRP, the participant, VR counselor, and other stakeholders to get everyone on the same page regarding what types of jobs will be considered and to outline a plan for obtaining employment. Various statuses are changed by the counselor in the case management system in order to signal certain stages of the process. When participants are looking for work, they are considered to be in job-ready status. After obtaining appropriate employment, participants are considered to still be in services status, Service E, for employed, at which time they begin the process of evaluating stabilization on the job. Additional services are provided by VR and CRPs in order to establish stabilization on the job, with concerns being addressed as they arise. When a participant is stable, the case management system labels them as employed. After 90 days of stabilization, they are closed as rehabilitated. Closure is the 6th stage in the VR process. At any time, if a case is closed prior to 90-day stabilization, the closure is not considered to be successful or rehabilitated. So, the typical VR process goes: referral, intake, eligibility, plan development, service implementation, and closure. Thank you